Earlier today, warrants for the arrest of Carlee Russell through the Hoover Municipal Court for her actions related to faking her kidnapping and subsequently making false statements to detectives as they investigated this case. Her decisions that night created panic and alarm for the citizens of our city and even across the nation as the concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose using a small child as bait. Numerous law enforcement agencies, both local and federal, began working tirelessly not only to bring Carlee home to her family, but locate a kidnapper that we know now never existed. Many private citizens volunteered their time and energy into looking for a potential kidnapping victim that we know now was never in any danger. This story opened wounds for families whose loved ones really were victims of kidnappings, some of which even helped organize searches in hopes they could find Carlee's alive so that her family would not experience the pain and suffering that they felt when their loved ones never returned home. As we know, actions can have consequences, and that's why we're here today. This afternoon, Carlee Russell, with the assistance of her attorney, turned herself into the Hoover City Jail, where she was arrested for the following charges: false reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor, $1,000 bond; falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond. Each of these charges carry up to a year in jail and potential fine of $6,000 upon conviction. Ms. Russell was released from jail after posting bond. We initially presented this case to District Attorney Lanice Washington, who agreed to handle prosecution through district court. After consulting with the Circuit Court of Jefferson County, Bessemer Division, the case was referred back to municipal court for charging because the only applicable charges were misdemeanors. Judging from the amount of phone calls and emails that we've received from people all over the country, I know many are shocked and appalled that Ms. Russell is only being charged with 2 misdemeanors, despite all the panic and disruption her actions caused. Let me assure you, I too share the same frustration, but existing laws only allow the charges that were filed to be filed. I can tell you that I will be contacting our state legislatures on behalf of law enforcement in Montgomery and asking them to look at this law applied to these facts and urge them to add an enhancement to current legislation when somebody falsely reports kidnapping or another violent crime. Because of the attention this case has garnered, we've requested Attorney General Steve Marshall's office adopt this case, and they've agreed to do so. The Hoover Police Department wants to thank everyone that assisted us from the beginning and continues to assist us in this case as we work its way through the criminal justice system. Joining me at the podium today is State of Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall.
Thank you, Chief. Let me begin by commending Hoover Police Department Chief Durgis for his leadership in this investigation. Obviously, this captured many's attention as a result of not only the allegations themselves, but also the concern about a possible victim and being able to return her home. The work that was done by the Hoover Police Department was monumental in its lift, and the results of that work you are seeing come to fruition today with the charges that have been levied. I also want to commend the many other men and women of both state and federal law enforcement for their work collaboratively with the Hoover Police Department in assisting in this investigation. Chief, appreciate the opportunity to be able to partner with you in this prosecution. We will dedicate a team to be able to help the city of Hoover in handling these 2 individual charges and look forward to bringing this case to fruition. One thing I would add is that we don't see this as a victimless crime. There are significant hours spent, resources expended as a result of this investigation. And not only that, but the many men and women who are civilians that wore those yellow vests on a hot afternoon and evening looking for someone they thought was abducted, trying to be of assistance. We intend to fully prosecute this case and look forward to working with the Hoover Police Department moving forward. We also would tell you that we will continue to monitor this investigation to determine whether or not there are any additional charges that need to be brought, and we'll evaluate those as the facts are presented.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, at this time, we'll open the floor to questions. If you'll please raise your hand and identify yourself and your affiliation when I call on you.
I'm CBS 42. This question for Mr. Attorney General. What is it about this case?
To the level to where it was a case that you wanted to take on? Well, we handle cases across the state. We have jurisdiction throughout for both misdemeanors and felonies. And when Chief Burgess asked for our assistance. We were more than happy to be able to assist.
Is it common for you all to be involved in misdemeanors like a case like this?
It's not uncommon.
Right here.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610, 100.1 FM, Summit Media. Chief, this question is for you.
Yes.
What time was Carlee arrested with her attorney, and has she made bail?
She has. She was processed in our facility within the past hour.
Do you expect any charges to be forthcoming with her parents, or is this just all on Carlee at this point?
At this point, and again, I think anything is, all, as the Attorney General said, their team will also be searching through our files, and we'll find out what they say.
Carol.
Carol Robinson with AL.com. Have you, since we spoke last in the press conference, been able to retrace where she was during the 49 hours she was missing, and have you determined if she was with anyone else during that time?
We have not found anything out on either one of your two questions.
Right here.
Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 News. Has there been any decision about a possible civil suit against Carlee and or her family? Also, what impact would this have on Hoover Police Department filing a suit have on the criminal case as well?
Yeah, we have not discussed that. Of course, we talked about the hours of overtime and all the significant resources that we used. And we'll certainly be talking to the Attorney General's office about possibly getting some of those funds returned to us.
Lisa Crane, WBTN 13. In an earlier press conference, you outlined some items she had taken from her employer. Any potential theft charges for that?
Those would have taken place in another jurisdiction, so we would not have charges ourselves.
Ashley Robinson, WBRC. Chief, do you mind repeating those charges and fines one more time for us?
Sure. False reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor with $1,000 bond. Falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond.
Chief, I know you mentioned this the last time we were together. Just wondering if you have any update on an idea of the cost that the Hoover Police Department expended in those 48, 49 hours Carlee Russell was missing. And one final question, do you at this point have any more information if Carlee Russell acted alone or anyone helped her?
Yeah, we have not finished, obviously, the 49 hours. We've been certainly busy since her return, so I still don't have a total on that, and we don't have any idea where Carlee Russell was for 49 hours.
Right here.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610. Chief, let me ask you this. Going forward, there's been a lot of concern in the community as per young black and brown females being reported missing. Would Hoover and other agencies have the same fervor going forward as they did with the case with Carlee Russell?
Absolutely. This, as I said initially, our focus was bringing Carlee home, and she got home. And then our focus has been to find out if there was a kidnapping. We found out there's not. We work every case like all other law enforcement does, so I don't have any concern anywhere that would be an issue.
And can I echo what Chief said? I've been in law enforcement for 27 years. Been in law enforcement throughout this state. I've never seen anybody interested in the color of your skin in investigating a criminal case. And I expect, regardless of your gender, your race, when that report is filed, that Alabama law enforcement is going to do its job.
Right here.
Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 state when she arrived to the jail today, and is she seeking any help at this point in time?
I was not there, so I really can't tell you exactly, and I really don't know anything else.
All right, last question.
Ashley Robinson, WBRC. Chief, what are next steps after this? What is going to happen next?
Well, right now, the Attorney General's office attorneys will start dealing with our detectives and going through case files and preparing prosecution, I presume.
Thank you guys very much.
Will y'all be releasing a mugshot?
Yes, we will momentarily.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that is it. So quickly, because I'm at work on a lunch break. Alicia Watts, we're gonna talk about her later. She's missing, and it was disheartening to look at a Twitter post, and I believe it was a Facebook post, there were people in the comments that was like, she probably at home eating dinner. Okay, not saying everybody felt that way, but at the end of the day, she lied. I'm glad she's getting some sort of consequence. Okay, do she need 10 years in jail? No, but you don't. I don't agree with what she did, and I do feel she needs the consequence. The little white girl, the 13-year-old, her ass need to go to juvie. 6 months, sit down somewhere. You've said somebody was kidnapped for a YouTube prank. You are old enough to know that you don't put your hand in fire, you'll get burned. You know that kidnapping is scary and it's wrong. So you need to be, that 13-year-old need to be held accountable. Okay. Yeah. So thank you all for being here. This was just a short live. I wanted to catch that press conference. And I know some people don't feel she should do any time she get in trouble at all, because some people feel, you know, what the white people will do it and they walk away scot-free. And that's fair to say, and that is accurate most of the time. But my rationale is, just because a white person do something heinous and foul doesn't mean that a black person, brown person should go do it and feel, oh, well, I'm gonna commit the crime because the white people get away with it. We're not held to the same standard. Again, this is just my opinion. This isn't facts, but we don't get the same grace. We don't get held to the same standard as when white people commit certain crimes. And I don't want to always have a mark. I get so tired of hearing, oh, that's a nigga did it. You know what I'm saying? But she's getting some sort of punishment in some way. Okay, fine. That 13-year-old, she need punishment, and Alicia Watts needs the same energy, because it didn't even cross my head that Alicia Watts is faking her being missing. It's instant. If you say you missing, not you say, but if those people say you missing, you missing. Alicia Watts is missing, truly missing. And until it turns otherwise, she missing, and she needs the same energy that this young girl got. But I also agree, somebody might have said it in this chat, that this got more attention because a little white kid was on the side of the road. Now, true, black kids have been on the side of the road, he got attention, but you're not going to get on the news and say a white child is walking lost on the freeway. That's just what the hell it is. It don't matter. LaWanda, she could face up to a year. She had $1,000 bail on her charges. I don't know if it was $1,000 a piece, but they did mention $1,000. We'll listen to it later. But I do believe the white child also hyped it up a little bit. You know, we really got to find out who this child was, right? And we've seen black kids walking along the streets missing, and people came at them, right? Again, speaking of that, the young lady who got punched in the face with her newborn baby, she's actually suing. I just saw it on the news. She's going to sue the cops for punching her in the face. However, what I did find disturbing was, why was y'all driving with a drunk driver, and why were 3 or 4 of y'all in the car with babies in y'all arms and no car seats? That's child endangerment. However, the cops should have got them out the car, had them have a seat, called their family, friends, and tell them, you need to call somebody. Y'all finna get arrested, but I'm not finna fight you with no baby in your arm. You shouldn't have wanted to fight her in the first place. She was being protective of her child while you trying to put her in handcuffs. So yes, she was resisting you. So I hope she wins that lawsuit, because she didn't deserve to be punched. She had a 2-3-week-old baby. Now, going to the other side, why was y'all babies in the car with a drunk driver who was liquor on them, with no seatbelts? Okay, they was in y'all arms. That's dangerous. So y'all need to be held accountable for that. But that's separate from you punching her in the face. And I know that's not the same. They're not missing, but again, being held to a different standard. Okay, white people would have been allowed the same. You know, but call who you. Matter of fact, we'll take the kids with us. Okay, no, y'all, you jump bad to fight the mom. Okay, and I said what I said. But at the end of the day, Taylor, yeah, it's wrong on both ends, and it is what it is. Black people do not get afforded the same grace. You know, that's just what it is. That's not making up statistics. So I don't support well, they did it, so I'm gonna do it. Nope, you messing it. In my opinion, they don't look for missing black women with vim and vigor anyway. So now doing that, faking it, you add to the whole thing too. It's just what it is. So I gotta get back. My lunch is over. I will see y'all later. Thank you for showing up those that did, and I'm out. Bye, you guys.